The current date is September 29th, 2024. Out here in the city limits of St. Petersburg, Florida. This is a few days after the hurricane, and what really was devastating for a lot of people out here. And sorry for my headphones falling out. I gotta figure something else out. That's why I'm not rocking wireless, because they're just gonna pop out and I'm gonna keep ranting. I'm gonna probably take these out for the moment of this record, which I normally don't do. I usually have the headphones on, listening to something heavy for sure. But I'm not personally comfortable with going through the path of destruction. A lot of people have lost their lifelong possessions, and they're really in a hurt place right now. So I'm just personally not okay with documenting that. I'm not throwing shade at anybody else that has documented or is currently documenting it, but I'm not saying it's wrong. However, I'm not saying it's right either. I don't really know. It's a weird, thing. It's like you want to document it for historical purposes, but part of me understands that people are really suffering, and this, is just like a replaying of the suffering for them. So I just, I don't want anybody to misconstrue how I feel morally about everything. So I am really gonna shut the camera off anytime we go through some heavy devastation. And again, I know that I should be documenting this for historical purposes, but I'm just not comfortable with it. Oh, there goes the headphones. Gonna really figure something out for those. Apologize if we're getting any background noise. The wind's still kind of heavy. I probably need to lube my chain as well, but it wouldn't be a vlog without bike issues, So I think my hanger's bent. I need to pull out the dag tool. I think it's been whacked a few times, inadvertently, of course. But as you can see, we got hit with a lot of storm surge. They're always saying, hey, the storm surge is going to be bad. But once you go through a few of these hurricanes, and they say it's almost like The Boy Who Cried Wolf, it's hard to really take it seriously until it happens. Just look at everything that got pushed around here. It's bad. I've never seen it after a hurricane. Usually it's bad, but it's not this bad. The water, I know I freaked out personally. I was woken up out of a dead sleep, told the water's quickly rising, and it was. I've never seen anything like that before. I was just in a state of shock. I kind of went into panic mode, the gross motor skills. When stuff goes down, it's hard to really have high functioning, decisions and, motor skills. It was just insane. I've never seen that before. I'm from the Midwest, so, I think I'm pretty hardened with our snowstorms and being, stuck inside for a little bit, but that water, man, that water comes in fast, and I just was not ready for it. Definitely, I was in the evacuation zone, so that is my fault for staying, but man, I just was not ready for that, and I definitely will consider leaving next time for sure. I just feel like these hurricanes are just getting worse and worse. I don't want to get too political about, why that is, but I don't know, man. You got to be built different to live out here. It's easy to go through the days when nothing happens, but it really speaks about your character when something does and you're tested. But I'm going to try and make this vlog not as depressing. And I apologize for the absence on these. I too have been struggling, just, different stuff, finding purpose in life and feeling like, what I do, just, I don't know, it's hard to describe. I feel it on the inside, I don't want to get too emo on everybody, but, it's hard to really, put in effort into something that you're not getting back, but at the end of the day, it's a passion of mine to do this. I love making videos. I love just ranting and getting out my emotions, and it's about as vulnerable as I get with these, so. again, just pure devastation. And I am in Zone A, but I'm not on the barrier islands. They got it the worst. I feel real bad for those people. But I don't know, man. People have lived out here their whole lives, and they're saying this one was as bad as they've ever seen it. And you just got to feel for these people, you really do. I'm pretty sure that's my bottom bracket creaking too. Again, I've been slacking on the bike maintenance. You know, ever since moved to, Florida. You know, I lost like the support network I had out in Illinois. You know, we were very well supported. I almost took advantage of how well I was supported. I had my good friends doing all my bike work, doing all my tubulars, you know, making sure I was good every time. And, you know, I know enough to be dangerous. You know, I know enough to keep the gears, keep going, but when it comes to press fit bottom brackets, I got no idea what I'm doing. I got no idea. You know, I understand that, you know, they got to be tapped out, but I don't know what kind of box bottom bracket to get. I don't know the crank, you know. I know I probably got a PF30, but I don't know like the size. It's just complicated. Shout out to Vincent Bicycle Co. My boy Ryan always holding it down. I think the stoplight's out. I really don't want to risk somebody knowing how to play those out because you're supposed to treat them as stop signs, but don't really want to risk that. So we're going to turn this around and head out the other way. We got some new construction that's probably halted at the moment, but anybody watching these, you know, if you're wanting to move out here, great. You know, it's awesome when it's awesome, but when it's bad, it's bad. You know, I've lived out here for a while now, and this is as worse as I've seen it. My family's lived out here forever, and even my aunt was like, I've never seen this before. This is unprecedented. So again, I don't really want to be showing you guys the destruction that occurred, just because, you know, I understand people have lost everything, but this is the route that I'm going. I'm not trying to glorify any of this. I understand people are in a really bad spot, and my bottom bracket is just creaking. I can hear it going. So shout out to you if you're watching. Got a Fuji SLA frame that's got definitely something press fitted into it. Ceram red crank. Not too sure on the specifics, so I don't know what kind of bottom bracket to buy, but I definitely know it's my bottom bracket, and we're gonna hope for the best on playing chicken and crossing the road here. Please don't kill me. That was a close one. That was my own fault. But geez, I mean, you see me coming, bud. I don't know. Sound of traffic's probably loud. We're probably about 7 minutes into this thing. Rain's starting to fall. Definitely knew that before I took out today that it was gonna rain, but I just wanted to, you know, vent to the camera to really get that going, and probably call it a day after this. Again, I am not trying to glorify any of this. I feel real bad for these people. I live on the second floor, so I came out okay, but we still had a little bit of damage, but nothing to the extent of everybody else has gone through. I'm not trying to be that guy, but golly, just look at this. This is terrible. This is devastating. This is one of the nicer areas I like to ride through, and it's just, you gotta feel for these people, you really do. I just feel awful. I think we're gonna have a moment of silence here. Just devastation. This is bad. Holy shit. Look at that. Wow. Unbelievable. Uprooted. I gotta shut the camera off. Guys, it's been real. This is Florida bike vlogger This is the aftermath of the hurricane. Again, I am not trying to glorify any of this. This is just more or less my documentation for historical reasons. You know, if there's ever a time I'm not here and somebody wants to see, you know, kind of the aftermath and not as bad as it was on the barrier islands, you know, feel free to reference this video. To everybody who's lost a loved one and lost their lifelong possessions, I feel for you. I really do. I hope everybody gets a blessing. And remember, folks, it's not what you're riding, but where you're going. And I think I'm going home. This is just terrible. We're out of here.